be so strong on a map like this. But I mean, in this kind of a scene right now, where we, like you said, you are noticing the double duelist just isn't typically the pick anymore. So, I kind of agree with this. Like, I mean, we're looking at rock bottom. They just have their, Jet pretty much as the main duelist, obviously. So, I mean, there's a little bit more pressure for getting Hope in those entry points and being the first point of contact, everything like that. So a little bit more pressure when you kind of reduce it in comparison to flickbaiters where they have two. So you can either have Ethos or Redux that can really try to be that first person in.
It's going to be interesting to see how Matt plays off of this Killjoy as well. We've been seeing a lot of Killjoy up until the 3.0 patch where she was nerfed a little bit, the highest level pro play, because her turret takes a little bit longer to be retracted or put back after retraction, but a lot of teams not adopting her as much anymore. She is going to be brought out though from rock bottom, starting things off of B. Redux pushing forwards. Nothing yet, but the wall's going to go up. Yellow's been taken over, Laz, and things are going to get heated very quickly.
Yeah, and I like this play from flickbaiters because you can see right now they're still having two of the players from rock bottom committed to this B site. So you still have kind of like a 2-1-2, but the spike is finally advancing itself and everybody's slowly rotating back here from flickbaiters. So they're getting ready for the execute. Hope already spotting one of the players. Now they're making their chance, ready to pounce into this. Ethos not able to find anything yet, but this is where they could double fake this. They don't even have to commit. They still have Rajante that is just holding in middle, waiting for the lurk. And look at that. Keg, they've already switched their plan up again.
Oh, the reverse on the reverse, and Yip has got to get the heck out of there. Right behind Yellow now, holding the angle though, waiting for the strafe. Not going to find the connecting shots for Redux though, but the Selva pushes up, and it's a great trade to start things off. 30 seconds left though. Damage being taken from the KJ. Having to get that plant down. Opening shots going, colliding everywhere. Redux good for one, still trades back and forth. The turret's so low against nerfed, able to take them down. It's a 3v3 in the post plant.
Right down to the wire. I mean, now you do have the flickbaiter so very lit. So now they're playing the yellow. Redux able to get the one. Looks to almost get the second. Not able to get the full frag, but the damage is there. Toasty Unicorns comes up from the back line, and now Ethos by themselves. He has to pump off. Gets the one. Gets the second, and flickbaiters pick up the big pistol.
That is a fantastic double kill to see come out from flickbaiters to start things off here. And that aggression, again, has been so paramount. We saw the reverse. We saw the double reverse come by with how the spike was traveling across the map from the attackers. But now, rock bottom, they have to anticipate anything going out. I did like how Matt did not move over to A. They didn't rotate. They stuck their guns. They had the nanoswarms down. They were dedicated to B, and it worked out a little bit, right? We saw the we saw one of the almost opening picks go down against nerfed, and eventually the turret took them down. But that Sentinel relying now on B, now the Viper to A. This is a double defense from Rock.
Yeah, this is a lot more pressure now, especially for the Killjoy to just put everything on hold. So flickbaiters, they're putting a little bit more pressure on this. They get the orb control as well, so that's a very big bonus for them. Look at how much possession they have. Like, they've already put so much commitment. They just have their one player. I believe that is Toasty. He is just playing in the back, waiting for the lurk. Walls are up. They're waiting for the utility to be baited. Nerf gets a nice shot.
Great opening pick there. Look at that. Intox again, waiting for the flank, able to take one more down. But look at this, two left alive, one behind. Never mind, only one left in nest, but the mother hen's not going to come home tonight. Tries to drop down, unable to succeed. It's going to be flickbaiters good for 2 rounds.
Yeah, and I mean, for rock bottom, there's not a whole lot that you can expect in a round like that, right? They don't put a lot of investment. I don't even think they really put anything in the util, but you can see now, full armor, and all the weapons are here. All the money is spent, they're ready to go. And this is now the moment. This is where we can kind of see where the game can potentially go. If they can win this round pretty convincingly, then they, get another gun round that flickbaiters can really put another shot at this.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the movement overall is going to look like going into this third round here. Usually we do see this be a slower round for the third one for attackers, given that they don't have as much artillery. But rock bottom, this is their oyster now. They have to take it over here. Redux is already on top, though, trying to go their way into mid. They're able to succeed and find a blocking off inside of kitchen. But Nerf able to push up here. Unable to find any bodies just yet.
Oh, I love this plant. Look at this. Nerf, this is a perfect post plant. And now, I mean, Matt just goes in from the jump. Yeah, it just comes from the heavens, tries to find it. And now, look at how much control they have. But now, the defense, out of nowhere, they've been able to take everybody down. And it's just down to the Viper by themselves, Spectre in hand. This is a problem, Keg. This is such a big issue. You have 3 members to go against, and surely this can't be done.
What a great collapse coming out. And Rajante last alive. Not much they can do with just a classic, though. Holy, I did like the plant, like we mentioned, coming out from flickbaiters to begin with, but Rock Bottom were prepared. They were mostly sticking around from the rotate to A, and they still had kitchen control. Although we did see the Cloudburst go down and block all the points of view, it only lasts for 4.5 seconds, lads. Redux only could have done so much there to block things off, but once those Cloudbursts went away, it was free for Rock Bottom to go for a complete surrounding overhaul.
Yeah, and I love that round from flickbaiters. We were talking about them being in the bonus, and look at how much damage they were able to do. They took down 3 players. So you can already see here from Rock Bottom, I mean, it is kind of a, you know, a rocky little purchase because they're trying to force up as much as they could. Yeah, no pun intended, right?
Oh, opening shots, though. Not by much, though. Redux has to get out of there, though. Warning shots have already been made. Nerfed attempting to spray through the Viper wall. Can't push up. They've been spotted out by the recon bull. Yip still inside bottom nest. Being blocked off, though. Nerf unable to find the imposter. Surrounded by the enemy. Unaware, though. Redux goes in for the sly sneak. Not able to find one, though. The immediate trade comes by. Rajante good for 2. But look above. Still inside kitchen. Yet to be discovered. Intox uses this opportunity to push on by. 3v3 now.
Poison orb emitting.
Going for the plant. Rajante for cover fire. 1 to drop. Can't confirm. Rajante goes for the swirly swirl. Maybe good for the killjoy. Here's the reload. Can't find the shot. Matt good for 3. It's going to leave it down to Ethos. Scary proposition to be in now. Empress pops. 1 heavily damaged. Lockdown still in play. Could be used by the killjoy now, just in case, especially with hope to go down. The weakest link to fall, but there's still 2 left alive. Still hiding around yellow. Lockdown in play. Oh, but they're separated. The pinch is in hand for Rock Bottom. This could be the chance to take down Ethos, and it's May to come by and strike them down.
A great round, Rock Bottom. Able to pull it through, and it's a little bit close. I mean, 3 seconds left, but either way, good effort from flickbaiters. Not able to pick it up, but I love the play, and I definitely agree. I mean, Ethos had to go for something big. You know, activating the Empress definitely made sense to me, and I don't think he was able to spot that one player with the dismiss, but you know, playing yellow is definitely the easy decision to have in a post plant like that. But, you know, what we're noticing so far from flickbaiters is they're getting mid control quite convincingly, Keg. Like, we're noticing they can push up right away, and they're not really having a lot of challenge. So, you know, Rock Bottom, even though they're giving that up, they're doing a great job to countering what they're giving up.
I really like how slow Rock Bottom are playing the post plant. Because, well, not even just the post plant, right? Just the entirety of the early game round. Flickbaiters go for the early plant all the time. But now, Rock Bottom can just play off of that and play really slow and just wait for them to all group up. Redux and company, though. Plan hasn't changed. Still going to keep pushing forwards. There's going to be a slow in the way, having to force their way around towards yellow, or not. They're going to go through the thorns all by themselves. Alas, look at this. It's going to be the Viper's Pit to come down. All visibility's been denied.
I love that they already used the Viper's Pit. This is perfect. So now they should be able to get the spike down. They don't even have to rush this yet. They can still wait. Now Rock Bottom have a way harder chance that they can get into the site and make sure that they can get this denied. Rahante, look at how close of a position he is. Matt able to actually take him down, so they get that early aggression already. Look at this, is Ethos speaking a bit too wide, and he already falls, and Matt, he's able to pick up a 2-piece now. This is looking like an issue here, Keg. Flickbaiters, they're all just falling apart one by one. A deck of cards we go, and that's going to be that unless we see an absolute mayhem from Redux. But it's looking problematic, and Rock Bottom, they're just going to keep things going.
Stuffed in a corner, boxed in a cage. There's not much you can do if you're flickbaiters. The strategy for them hasn't really changed, lads. We've seen the early plants on B every single round so far. And Rock Bottom, they've realized that they don't go for the early aggression and just wait for that quick plant to go by. Sure, they can put down utility like the Viper wall we saw from May, but otherwise, just wait for the plant to go down and flickbaiters are going to huddle together towards the back of the site, or wherever relative position of the spike to be planted. I really want to see flickbaiters go for A. We haven't really seen too many mind games since the pistol round, and now is the perfect opportunity to bring it out. And look at this, the response from flickbaiters is going to be a default. Keep an eye on where that Sage is going to play. They could find some early reconnaissance, but Redux too, on a bit of an eco-marshal, they might be able to make some work as well. Ooh, Rajante and Ethos to fall to start things off last. That's not a good thing for flickbaiters. They're down to their bare skeleton crew.
Yeah, they only have the 3 lives, sorry. So, I mean, the fact that they lost 2 players just like that, and losing the Viper, so now you lose the Toxic Screen or even the Wall, so you just don't have those options available for you. And this is a light purchase for them, so they're just going to be trying to see what they can find, but May able to get a nice shot onto Nerfed. This is looking like a bit of a gimme round. Rock Bottom should be able to recover from this pretty well. It's all about just making sure nobody falls. But in this moment for flickbaiters, if they can get the spike down, this could be a big bright side for them.
Even just a little bit of cash from the spike in the ground will be going so far for flickbaiters, but the flank comes by. Toasty good for Intox. It's down to Redux now, last alive. Designed for entry, last to kill. Must be now the Marshal to find some sort of savior, but no, May good for a triple again on side of A.
Well, I think this is going to be a big test now, so we should be able to see that flickbaiters have everything they need. Get ready for the execute. And I do agree with you, Keg. Like, I would like to see a little bit of a mixture from flickbaiters. I have been admiring how easily they've been able to get mid, but we just kind of saw that last round, the punishment that Matt had, you know, the turret set up, and then, you know, just having the Sage swing and get that immediate trade, which was great. But flickbaiters are going to have to figure out something a little bit different. But with the way that they've been getting mid possession, they might even be able to do a bit of a split in that A site with the mid and also in the A main.
See, that would be so cool to see, and I hope eventually we do, but Redux is going to start things off with a little bit of early action. They're able to find Nif. They're going to fall. The Sage now gone. Hunter's Fury in response, though, does find a little bit of damage, but nothing to really write home about. Rajante's still waiting for the mid control, though. Someone to come by for the lurk. That's going to leave it be a 4v4, though, to go on B. No, excuse me, a 4v3. May have taken the bait. Hook, line, possibly sinker. Another one waiting on the flank as well. All eyes focus on this Viper. The imposter is sus. They fall, and now things are not looking good for flickbaiters as they approach on to where they need to drop that spike on down. Redux with a denial of line of sight yet again. Toasty Unicorns dialing it back. Util dump all around. No information to be found from the recon bolt. Oh, this is scary. They have to go for the reverse. They have to go for the rotate, but Hope is ready to strike. Oh, this could be a great 2K right here. Make that one. No, they're waiting. How many weasels can they pop? It's going to be 2, and they go down. The spike is in the possession of Rock Bottom. And last, there's only 2 left alive.
That's such a big play from Hope. I mean, that's talking about impact. That's talking about trigger discipline. That is such an important thing to watch, and a great view from production to find that. Because, I mean, just there, I mean, now flickbaiters, that frustration is going to be even build up a little bit more because they thought they had a little bit of control, but now everything is just going against them. And people landing shots like that, just a nice little cheeky peek, is just not what you want if you're flickbaiters. And this has been a great, miraculous game from Rock Bottom. I mean, really, I think this is about 3 or 4 rounds in a row, maybe even 5 that we've seen on this side. It is going to be 5. So, I mean, they haven't lost a round since the first 2, Keg.
No, ever since they got their hands on better artillery, we've been able to see Rock Bottom really play around and pretty much turn the defense into Play-Doh. It's been valuable, lads. And flickbaiters, they're really good about getting onto B site, but we haven't been able to see the full team go to A just yet. But it looks like, though, that could be changing this round. Could be a really aggressive push in here. Have to see the recon ball opening up here. Looks like it may be missing, though, but they are able to find some intel right around to the bottom of Nest. No one's going to hide in any corners, but all these corners can be filled in with the Sewer Goo of Maze Viper. There's a Hunter's Fury.
This is tough. I mean, you got the Viper Spit now from the Rock Bottom side, and this is what we typically see, right? I mean, on the defensive side, you have this, so it just pretty much isolates this entire section of the spike site, so it just makes it even that much harder. Look at that. Even the drone gets that extra information, so now they know that the flickbaiters are committing to this, and Hope gets an easy picking, taking down the head of the Viper. So now this is a good position from the Sage. Maybe going to be able to find something. No, but I mean, these players are close up in mid. They might try to go for that mid push one more time, and this is what they've been successful with. But I mean, now Matt ready to go. Oh, the Nano Swarm nade. No, that's not a good. But oh my goodness, it's going to be Nerf to come out better. Wins it by just a second. And Keg, they have a moment to get this spike down.
Oh, look, the army is going all the way through Kitchen, back onto the site. They're able to get full control of B. No Rock Bottom in sight, it seems. Plant's going to go down. A very tough spot to retake. Yip, though, coming from the surprise towards the attacker's lane, though. It's going to be Toasty Unicorns, of course, with a split as well. Pinch goes through, but not for much longer. 27 HP in a dream. Everyone on Rock Bottom's heavily damaged. Hope those still left alive. Could be able to find one inside Kitchen, but they're caught by surprise by a Marshal to the face. It's down to May. Last one alive now. 1v3. Flickbaiters turning it back on, though. May's good for 1. Trying to even up the odds here, using some utility, using the smokes to their advantage, but they look right at the wrong time. Etho's good with the Sheriff.
I mean, we got to talk about that round for a second. I mean, flickbaiters, you know, we've been saying, you know, and being a little bit criticizing about, yeah, you got to go A, you got to try something A, but then they just go back to their bread and butter keg. They go mid, and they just commit to it. And I mean, it was all nerfed that was able to get that first point of entry, and he takes down Matt, and Matt was just a second off. You could see that he was moving his crosshair to, you know, activate the nanoswarm, so nerfed. Honestly, best timing ever in that kind of a round, which allowed them to get the spike down. Their post plant was just phenomenal, and I mean, rock bottom again, they just couldn't react to it that quick.
Early aggression again, Redux with the knives. No spike in the possession of anybody of flickbaiters. They want to go in fast, but they have to wait a little bit. They have to mitigate their aggression. KJ Util's been spotted. Ethos takes down the drone, but gets spotted in the process. Usually by now from rock bottom, we see a rotate or attempted flank come by, but no one's taking the bait just yet. Lear goes through. Ethos goes for the jiggle. Nothing just yet, Laz.
Very slow round. Flickbaiters, they're doing a great job of just staying composed. They don't want to be too aggressive, getting a really good feel. And now Hope does have the operator out. Ready to go. First time. And I mean, this is where Hope has to get this one shot and dash out of this. Misses it, so now has to fall back. Doesn't even make it. This makes it even more of a challenge, and Hope is in such a bad place, but nerfed.
Oh,
gets a second chance at life. Look at
Hope
this.
gets away?
And he gets it. Yes, he gets the heal as well, so that's even a bigger moment as well. So now Hope gonna fall to the grave. Ethos finally making the opening, and now Flickbaiters, they got some time. They can get the spike down as soon as that snakebite's gone.
Oh, a comedy of errors coming out from Hope. They got away, but not for much longer. A 4v5 now for what would have been possibly the post plan, but not today. Flickbaiters, they're going all the way back around, but the problem is, Laz, there's barely enough time. That spike's really gonna pull Revere its way all the way to A, and it's a whole bloodshed going through inside of mid.
There's not enough time.
No one's able to find any sort of luck. There's no... Wait, can they get it down? No, too little too late. A Hunter's Fury is used. So much chaos comes by, and rock bottom are good for the half.
Oh, and yeah, that's where it just, when you burn the clock too much, that's exactly what can happen to you. And I noticed the snakebite came in from rock bottom that landed right on the spike spot. So that, I think, kind of freaked them out. And they're like, you know what, let's just rotate back. But as soon as you commit to that, you can't just change your mind and go back again. So they didn't realize, I think, the clock was right behind them and everything like that. But it's just kind of the little mistakes like that in this kind of a situation, which makes the biggest difference. And rock bottom still up by 3, and really not showing a lot of mistakes at all so far, Gig.
No, by no means. Opening upshot, though. Speaking of mistakes and the lack thereof, able to take down Nerf. No more Sage, no more post-playing, healing, or walls to deal with here. But we do see the majority of rock bottom to rotate to B, holding the line. Flickbaiters haven't been able to get onto the site just yet, or even close. Op still being held down from long towards green. Turning around towards yellow. It's risky. They can't see a thing, and the Lear's going to go through. Hope has to get away. No more Op to be seen. Now the Viper Wall goes up. Line of sight working for the favor of Flickbaiters, but Ethos is going to push through. They're going straight into the depths, the belly of the beast, and they keep on sneaking by. But little do you know, on the other side, Nay still good for the flick. Ethos to fall into a double kill from the Viper. So the revenge shot has been let through. Make that a double. Intox, though, not good for 3.
And, you know, the one highlight of this round as well, and I like this idea from Flickbaiters, but it's also kind of working against them right now, is what they're trying to do is play very aggressive so that they can catch one of those defensive players off guard. You saw that it was Ethos, and I can't remember the other player, but they both tried to push all the way up on defender's side, and it just didn't work out, and May just took them down. I believe that was a 2 or 3K, and I mean, 15-5 right now for May. That, like, you have everybody else that's at 8 and 6. By no means is May just carrying the team, but I mean, that is a big statement and a lot of great work that's happening, just locking down that B site.
It's a battle of aggression and aggression versus defense and defense, right? And I mean, the Reyna and the Jet versus the Killjoy and the Viper have been playing these beautiful games of essentially, I mean, it's an ice map, right? It's like hockey. You have May being the goalie right now, just making sure nobody on Flickbaiters can get onto the site unless it's A. Lockdown's gonna go by. That needs to push up here. Viper in return, though, with the All Regente, having to back up a little bit more. Gonna use it for a little bit, and everybody on Flickbaiters, once the spike goes down, leaves the site, but there's knives in the back. They don't know about Hope just yet. No flank watch to be seen. Oh, hello. That's going to be one headshot. Make that two. Double lockdown comes by into three. Everybody's caught off guard. Oh, good for a 4K.
Oh my goodness. What a way to show demonstration of the knives. And just again, rock bottom showing a very flawless defensive, and it's just becoming a catastrophe here. Flickbaiters, they need to pick up this round so that they can make something work in that second half. But it's just like every time they seem to have control, all of a sudden, rock bottom, they're just throwing them, and they just seem to get every single moment for them in their favor.
I really love how Rock Bottom has a response and a proper answer for everything Flickbaiters are bringing out. Like you said, Laz, we saw the Viper's pick come out from Merjante, right? It didn't do a lot because the lockdown was there to make it really nullified. It was ineffective. And Redux is going to go for the early op shot again. The quick scope comes through, but doesn't quite connect. Now Hope's in a really bad position right now. Nerf has to play this properly. Two people pushing up here, completely blind. Shorty in hand crosses the streams though, and Hope is still able to get away from the
What on earth? Oh my god. How does that even happen? And you can see both players at the exact same time ran through that. So now, Bull just down to one. Flickbaiters, it's down to 2 HP in a dream, but it's just going to be a dream to the grave. And it's going to be a 9-3 for that first half. Rock Bottom showing an amazing, fearless defensive side. And now we're going to be transitioning things over. And now they get to taste the attacking side.
I want to go back to the map banning real quick because we saw Flick ban out Breeze, and I would say despite it being a little bit more of a gun heavy map, I would say more gunplay, right? There's still a lot of coordination involved to make sure the spike gets onto the site. If you can't necessarily win out your gunfights every round, Icebox is similar to an extent, but not quite the same as Breeze. It's a little bit more condensed, but that rotate factor, that chemistry is there. We talked about this in the pre-game show as well. This could very well change going over and swapping sides, but the defense from Rock Bottom was ironclad. They had a response to everything we saw, but things could change once we go to map 2, a little bit more of a traditional map like Ascent. That could be more of an even playing field. But right now, Flickbaiters, they have to make this pistol round count, Laz.
Yeah, they absolutely do. This is pretty much critical. I mean, this is a moment now where they have to pick this up to get some kind of rounds built up. And look at this aggression. That's perfect. So now, gets a little bit of information. Now they're coming in from the back lines. Rock Bottom have been able to get the spike down. So we have ourselves a full retake situation. The player advantage in favor for Flickbaiters. May coming up with one. May coming up with another. That's going to be 3. But finally, Redux able to get 2 more. And Flickbaiters, they do succeed on that pistol round.
Holy, that was a close call with May there again. The goalie for Rock Bottoms has just been so effective. But Flickbaiters, they were able to play that aggression early on. They played to their strengths with the Reyna and the Jet. They're able to find those gunfights. But remember, I'm wondering though, Laz, if we're going to see history repeat itself again. Flickbaiters won the very first 2 rounds of the game, but then once we saw double rifles, or at least rifles in the hands of Rock Bottom, things took a drastic turn.
Yeah, and that seems, that was kind of what was happening before, like on their attacking side. Flickbaiters, I felt like they always had good control, but it always just came to that post plant that just became problematic. But in this time, I mean, they reacted very well. They had very good flanks and a little bit more control in this. And I love what I'm seeing here. It is a 3-1-1 setup, but now this is going to be a full push. It's going to be Nerf able to find it. Rajante able to get 2 more. So this is a nice, easy cleanup. And I mean, right now, they do know the spike is down. Hope going to post up, misses the shot. Gets a second chance at this. You see if they can find the head. No, not going to work out at all. So this should be Flickbaiters' round, putting themselves on that 5th. And there it is.
Great 4K coming out from Rajante. This is just the Viper show on both sides.
Vipers everywhere.
It's venomous.
This has been venomous. Oh my goodness, you didn't just do it. It's been a pretty exciting game, and honestly, I feel like the theme that we see on this map is that they seem to get mid control pretty convincingly, and even now we're kind of noticing as well that Rock Bottom have been able to do that as well. So they seem to get that pressure. They try to cut in so that they can get early B access. So they really are taking a bit of a page out of Flickbaiters' scrapbook from the first half.
Let's see what Hope can do here for the early Jet aggression. We saw a lot of that when the sides were reversed, but it looks like those opening Vandal shots did have a little bit of success, but not quite enough to confirm a kill. May to push up, though. Not really much of a success factor here. Ethos still counter-strafing, jiggle peeking behind. Able to find much. Rotate's already been called, though, from the spike carrier. The majority of the team now in mid. Nerf, though, with just a sheriff. Could be good for 3. It's a difficult call to make. The push-up is in hand. Yep, the fall. Great opening pick. May, though, might have some problems. Ethos and company, they might try to go for a pinch. Hope is still waiting, though. Top of boxes. Fans in hand. Need to push up here, though. It's a 2v2. Spike is still waiting all the way towards B main.
Oh,
no calls to be made. May to find Ethos. Great opening here now. Just the Sova. Intox has to find the reverse. Close have gone through. Redux good. Staving off the attack a little bit longer. 3v4. 30 seconds left. Call's already been made. What's left is going to be posturing. A distraction. Now the rotate's been called again towards kitchen side. 20 seconds left now. All through kitchen. Rajante already down below. Good for 1. The train's in going down. Matt finds yet another. The spray and pray. The Hail Mary comes through. Another defall. Rajante gets 2 to clean things up.
Big round, flickbaiters. That was very well done. And I mean, it was looking a little bit dicey, a little bit rocky for me, but I mean, they make it work. And even that crossfire that they had, you can see that May just had one step better and was able to, you know, kind of open up that A site, but decide they didn't even go for it as soon as May fell down. So we have the ultimate ready to go here from Rock Bottom, I believe, unless it is the glitch bug, but we'll see. But either way, we still have the res available for Nerfed. And I mean, we got to talk about Nerf for a second, too. I mean, he's not like popping off or anything like that, but I mean, his shots have been absolutely critical, though, okay?
They've been really impactful kills when we've seen Nerf succeed with them. Rajante, though, might be in for some problems as well. Hope is still pushing forwards with only 69 HP.
Oh, Rajante still holding it down, playing a very wide angle, very exposed. There's 3 players, and now he's actually just going to commit to it. He's not even going to try to fall back, but he's able to get the toxic screen up, able to get the snake bite to slow things down a little bit. Rock Bottom, this is good what they're doing. They're trying to burn as much of the utility here from flickbaiters so that they can have a little bit easier of a chance to get into the site. But Rajante has to be careful. If he plays too aggressive and gets taken down, that puts so much more pressure for Nerfed to like really lock this down by himself, and he already gets caught. But look at that. That's exactly what they were looking for. They're going to punish it, get the wall down. Spike should be planted momentarily. This is good for Rock Bottom.
But they forgot about Nerf. They're still inside of Nest. Now looking for those opening shots again. Spraying through the smokes. Good to see at least hope. But no, another from behind. May comes through, takes down Nerf. And now Intox down below inside Nest. Poking and prodding their way through. All the defenders, what's left of flickbaiters. Looking for that intel, but look at this. Walls on walls, physical and hurting full. So much more to deal with there. Ethos good for 1 through the Viper. There's only 3v3 though. More bodies to fall. Defenders able to take the lead again. Still no spike to be defused. Not even close, but Intox good for another. May's the last one alive. Good to find Ethos. Maybe make it 2, but no, they fall all the same. There's barely enough time, but it looks like they should be able to succeed. That's going to be flickbaiters getting ever closer to the even scoreline.
And they did get it! Rock Bottom with a .09!
There's no way!
That was so big, and I was honestly, as soon as you were saying it, I was like, I don't know, it's close, it's so close. And I mean, the fact that May was able to get that shot and burn it that quickly, you could see the positioning that May was in, just going one smoke, hiding between another, small little gap here. Just amazing performance. That is honestly, just again, just the timing couldn't have been better, and that is what Rock Bottom been doing so well this game on.
It was all about stalling. And flickbaiters, their stalling techniques have been working out pretty well, and so has Rock Bottom's for the attack. But B has just been so back and forth at times between these two teams. Not so much in the first half, but now things are looking a little bit more leveled at times. Hope finds the open pick against Rajante. And remember, all that utility burn you mentioned last round, that's not even going to be a possibility with a Viper anymore.
Lockdown going to be activated as well, so now Rock Bottom really trying to push out these defending players. Get that spike down finally. It's all going to be about the retake here from flickbaiters. They are down a player. They've lost their Viper. Don't have that option. They don't have that in the playbook. Got the shock dart signaling to land at the back of yellow now, so they're going to push up. Redux able to get this frag. That's a nice little spam against Hope. They got some good control. Nanoswarm May is going to be used all over the place. May now going to have to just pop off, but no, it's going to be back and forth we go. A 2-2 kick.
Oh no, it keeps going, and look at that sea of green in the kill feed. Matt's the last one alive. No utility to work with, no life to use. Ethos finds Matt, and that's gonna be another defuse. This one goes in the favor of flickbaiters. It's been a close call the majority of these times. Mostly defender favored, but the momentum for the attackers on both sides, it's been a struggle at times. But I think rock bottom, if they want to keep going for B, I really liked how they did wait out the time rather than try to necessarily go for the gunfights that we saw 2 rounds ago. I'm wondering if we're going to see that again, or maybe, and given that we see on the mini-map, it looks like that might be the case, we could see a little bit more action on A this round.
I was a little bit surprised that Matt used the lockdown right away. I was kind of expecting that to be a post-plant situation where they could have really baited the time, right? But don't need to bait anything. Hope's going to just put Matter into his own hands, able to get a nice headshot with the knives, starting things off, taking down the Sova. So again, that's Toasty Unicorns that's fallen, and that's a big agent to go down this early. They don't even have a res available here for flickbaiters.
Oh, it's a Sova kebab. Oh, Rajante. Hey, man. Rajante's playing a dangerous game, whether they realize it or not. Out in the open. Redux not watching, though. Call's been made, trying to maneuver themselves back over to A. Look at where Nerfed is. We could see exactly what Hope did. Not only last half. Hide in their own spawn. Go for the 2-shot. With Rajante down, it's looking more and more promising that could happen.
Oh,
triple kill for
God.
Hope. Beautiful work to be had, but look at this. Now it's up to Nerf. This is entirely his show right now. This is all or nothing. 2v5. This Sage needs to stay alive and stay hidden. Compressed, but no! They've been revealed already. The spike goes down. Sure, if the lives are down as well. This could be a great chance for a triple kill. The rope's been played. They've been had. It's all a trick. Molly's not going to connect. Oh, but that second one does. That is the floor is lava right there. And Matt's still alive with just the frenzy in hand. Yet to be discovered, but the frenzy can't find the shots. Redux takes them down instead. And suddenly, everything evens out.
It's a 2-2 now.
But they don't know about
May! But May's right here in the back lines. May's ready to go. And this is perfect. Spike's going to go down. So now this is a one-on-one duel. If May can stay alive as long as possible, Nerfed, he has nothing to work with. At this point, he might just want to save this. This is a tough position to be in. He has to find this frag immediately. If he doesn't, this is going to be it for the round, but May gets one better, and that's a thrifty for rock bottom. And again, May just being the big life insurance here for this squad.
Oh, Nerfed, you put in the work. You can rest now. That was really well played from the Sage.
Sheesh.
Taking it from a 2v5 to a 2v2, it was a pretty damn close round, all things considered at the end. But I love the play coming out from Toasty, realizing, you know what, A's just not going to work. You have to skedaddle out of there, have a sacrifice play come out from, I believe, who was that? Hope? But regardless of that fact, we just need to see that B execute go underway now. Now we're almost down to map point for the first map here. We see early Hunter's Fury come on by, able to find a little bit of damage on the Rajante, does confirm into a kill, but the immediate refrag comes by, and that's going to be a duelist for a controller. I think that's a pretty good trade, all things considered.
It really is. It is a good trade. So now you can see Rock Bottom a little bit more pushed back, a little bit more hesitant in what they want to do. They're not just going for an early mid-aggression. They're not just pushing underneath tube. They're really waiting things out. A lot of attention onto this round. They do now have the information that Redux does have an operator. If they can bait the shot, this allows them to get some control, so they're really anticipating Redux to miss this. They might even try to do some quick swing this. Oh, that is so dirty, but Redux gonna do one better already. Takes down the head of that player, so now Rock Bottom only down to 3 kills.
Oh, but you don't want to try to strafe around that corner. Matt's able to find Nerf. That's huge. The Sage once again gone. The body counts even up. This is the beautiful game to see in the mid-round, or I guess the late game at this point. Where's that spike gonna go? 35 seconds left. They have almost no choice but to go for A. Ethos is hiding near 410. Still good for one. Could be good for one more. Ethos playing the strafing game again. Not able to succeed on that second kill, but now Matt has to retread ground yet again. Yif hears some footsteps from below. Or do they? Definitely hear each other. Oh, they hear each other. You're right. The spray control. Good for another 1v1 now. Spike goes underway. Intox now with a recon bolt. Could be able to find behind sight, but no. Already out of the range. It's going to be the lockdown instead in response. Huntress Fury gets baited out instead, but they're spotted regardless. No one goes for it. No, instead the Huntress Fury dedicates itself to the KJ. Oh, they have information on the enemy, but Intox still needs to push forwards. The game's in his hands right now. Owl Drone comes out, outside 410. Matt has all the time in the world, so it seems before the explosion comes by. Still, more information to be gained. Knows where Matt isn't. It's gonna be up now. 10 bullets away. Can't go for the reload. They'll be spotted. Call's been made for the defuse. It's at half. They have to go for the shot, and there it is. Lined up and shoot him down. Matt for a triple to help bring things to match point.
What an amazing round and such great play from Matt. I mean, look at how far back he was committed in the back of a main like that. The drone, no information. You know, and the fact that, you know, Intox has to take down the lockdown as well. I mean, pretty much got rid of the chance that he gets fragged out, because you saw that first one did make the connection, and I was getting pretty nervous for Matt. But I mean, he got pretty lucky in terms that he could get away, and then also, you know, that Intox really knew that he had to commit to something. And, you know, the chances of getting that frag with the ult, it was kind of hard.
Imagine if it was a double whammy, got the lockdown and the killjoy. That would have been, whew, that's anybody's dream. I love this Viper wall coming out too from flickbaiters. It cuts off any line of sight immediately to push. But the problem is though, it's used in one area, but it allows Ethos and company to push up in the other. It's going to be an early 4v4 now. Losing down on one Viper. It's an interesting trade. Still have a duelist though for flickbaiters' side. Popo's going to push up almost solo, and good for Rajante, but at what cost though, Laz? Look at that, 2 health and a dream.
Yeah, I believe the heal should be available. This should be from Yift. I should be able to get this ready to go. But yeah, just barely. 2 HP. Heal's going to come in. I'm going to be able to help with the res as well. So now this is even more problematic here for flickbaiters. They're completely not out of the woods. Rock bottom now, a 5-player commit. Nerf needs to absolutely find some heads. He's able to get the one. The wall's going to come through. So now, going to slow things down. A big decision. Lots of heap of success there for them. They need to now slow it down even more. They need to find some more bodies. Nerf gets another one as well. The Guardian of the Galaxy. He's able to pop off and take 3 away. We have ourselves a 2-2.
30 seconds left.
Oh, it's not over yet, Laz. Through the smoke, it's going to be another one to fall. Ethos could be good for one more, saving the day. Wow. I like what you said, the Guardians of the Galaxy. I couldn't have said it better myself. Nerf has just been the corner warrior of this game. And Ethos, too, to clean things up at the end. Flickbaiters want to stay in this first map.
And this is their pick. Like, yeah, this is their pick, and now they realize they still have 4 rounds to go to pushing OT. Whereas right now, Rock Bottom, they're in a great spot. They have, you know, a couple opportunities where they just need 1 round to go for taking this map away.
I feel like a lot of this is going to go on the pressures of not only Redux, but also Ethos as well. We saw the early aggression go through into mid. They were able to find that trade, which was nice, but then Ethos dialed it back and played on A. Early aggression comes out again, though. Hope isn't able to find much, but 32 HP's nothing to scoff at all. But through the smoke, Rajante, you can see the tracers there still blasting away. Great trade comes by. Nerf finds Matt. But the damage may have already been done. The slows go through, Nerf is trapped, box in the cage, but Intox at the very least in Snowman's good for 1, right?
Here.
Oh, this is such a nasty position for anyone to be in, but Rock Bottom. Is this their Rock Bottom?
1 enemy remaining.
This very well could be. Nerf is just playing this beautifully. He's got the wall boost beside Yellow. He still has big wide. Hope not able to make anything work. They get another round pretty convincingly as well. They only lost their 1 player. But again, like you said a little bit earlier, Nerfed, he's definitely one of these players where he's just getting so much impact. He's doing so much good work and just information for flickbaiters to work off of. And I'm just amazed and impressed, honestly.
Oh, me too. There's not a single player in this lobby that I haven't been impressed by at least once this game. And this is only the first map, too. Whew. I was worried about flickbaiters going into this, right? Because, again, they're not a team that has been working together for the longest amount of time. But Rock Bottom and flickbaiters, they're putting up a great fight against each other right now. And I like how flickbaiters have adapted to play a little bit more aggressive at the beginning of the round, but the mid game has been ultra slow. Oh, just going aggressively in. That's a double kill for Nerfed. Rock Bottom, they're just running in. And sure, I believe it's an eco round for the attackers here. The information's been gained. Oh, but they're already down 2 bodies. I'm curious to see what's going to happen once we see rifles on everyone's hands again. This could be flickbaiters now having double digits as well for the first round. But Rock Bottom, I feel like they're hitting the same slump that we saw flickbaiters on the attack have as well. Kind of just tunnel visioning onto B site a lot of these rounds, and they just kind of go face to face with a wall of death.
They completely do, and I mean, I feel like they're kind of hitting the rock bottom of just their playbook. I mean, nothing is working for them at all. Flickbaiters have just picked up this second wind, where they're really just cruising through and leaving it all down to May. May's been a big impact, but picking up 4 for a big clutch match situation is just too much, and that's a triple for Nerfed. So now putting himself over 20 frags on this first, and now we finally see the timeout. I was just gonna say we should be seeing something like that with a game like this being this close, and now this gives Rock Bottom an opportunity just to slow down the momentum, figure out what they need to do. This is a gun round. This is important because if they lose this keg, we might be considering an overtime.
Yeah, I think overtime is definitely in the works right now, Laz. The problem right now with Rock Bottom's agent selection is that they do have Matt on the Killjoy, right? Which is a fantastic pick for this map on the defense. And it can be great if there's a dedicated flanker usually for the enemy team. But the problem with Flickbaiters is that we haven't really seen much flank potential come out from them. They usually go head on. They're able to find those one-to-one gunfights and usually come out on top with a lot more success than I think we see Rock Bottom. Usually if it's a gigantic group, usually Rock Bottom plays around the artillery, plays around the line of sight denial, plays around the utilities a lot more, and succeed over Flickbaiters when it's their own domain. But if they're pushing in with less info, it can be a little bit riskier for them, and that's generally what you see on the attack. But now the timeout has gone underway. I'm wondering what kind of strategies we'll see employed. If I'm Rock Bottom right now, I would love to see a little bit more of a slower beginning of a round.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I think the one thing that we're noticing from Rock Bottom that isn't happening is getting these immediate trades. Because there's been not opportunities, but there's been moments where, Nerfed, he somehow just picks up 2 frags and he's able to get out of that battle. So, I mean, the fact that Rock Bottom, they need to trade. That is what they need at this moment. But I agree. They need to kind of just slow things down, slow that momentum a little bit here for Flickbaiters, and get a little bit more control of this. I mean, look at the confidence. Nerfed, he's already pushed himself all the way up here in Long B. He's already got a good crossfire. Redux is going to be that first point that's just going to lock things in, be that distraction, and they might not expect Nerf to be there. And this is an opportunity where he might be able to pick up 1 or 2, which he's done pretty much every single time.
Oh, Laz, this is a sticky situation. If you're Yif, you're looking around for those upwards corners. Opening up shot goes through. Info's been had on 1. Nerf is still completely hidden. Now Matt is going to stay behind. They have that KJ turret to worry about, or to work with, excuse me. But they also have the spike. Could have been a little bit of posturing. Still 2 bodies on Flick, still waiting on B. Not going to be quite working though. Utility starting to come out on side of A. Hope looks for the spray. Can't find much. One still hiding behind the site. It's going to be Ethos. They've been so great at playing goalie on side of A. Nobody's have yet to be found, though. Catching on by. Spike's going to go underway into a double kill. Ethos good for 2. Hope up above. Going to be caught up on behind. Look at that. The meltdown goes under. 1 left alive now. It's Toasty Unicorns. They're good for 1. Not going to be a flawless round for Flickbaiters. No spike to be seen. No way to achieve it and get the spike down in 14 seconds.
10 seconds.
It's almost like a mini timeout, Laz.
It almost is. I mean, this is now, getting the orb, this is great. Only 1 away from Toasty Unicorns to have the Hunter's Fury ready to go. But, I mean, this is just now the defense from Flickbaiters has just been uncontested. I mean, they just are not able to get the door. Like, they're pretty much there knocking. But, I mean, Flickbaiters, they're not letting them in. And now we're talking about a 1-round difference here. And this is a tough situation for Rock Bottom because, like you said, they've tried a little bit different strategies. They try to go A, doesn't work. They try to hit B a little bit slower. Doesn't always work. So now the question is, what do they want to do? Do they go back to what they were doing in the mid B split? Do they try something a little bit more aggressive at A? This is it. This is the moment now. We're at 12-11. Rock Bottom had the chance of taking this map that isn't their pick, but we also have Flickbaiters that could be pushing overtime for their map.
Keep in mind, too, this half started. Rock Bottom 9-3 against Flickbaiters here. A similar strategy coming out from Flick again. Nerfed hiding away, though, much upwards this time. No one's been spotted out yet. Oh, Nerf could be finding a spicy hit here. That's going to be 1. That's 2. Come on. Where it is? There it is. There's the wall to come underway. Nerf uses it as an escape route. Redux can't find the shots. The wall's already broken. Finds at least info on 1. Still, what's left of the rest of Rock Bottom? I think there are options to escape here. But do you see where Ethos is going? They're trying to meet up. Oh, they're going to play on Nest as well. We saw Nerf do this a few rounds ago, and it was fantastic to see. There's less bodies this time to worry about.
Oh, Ethos gets spotted. Oh, but that actually the Empress doesn't even work at all. I think it actually would have given away his positioning. So now,
I think it did.
So now they're gonna actually go back. Keg, they're gonna not even commit to this. So they realize they got time. They can go all the way back to B if they want. And this is a full commitment from flickbaiters. They've taken the bait entirely. So now they got a chance they can get the spike down. It's gonna be close. You got the Sova running as fast as possible. The Sova not far away as well. This is neck and neck now.
This is why you never skip leg day. Matt's able to almost find their way onto the spike, but hello up above, it's nerfed. Oh no! 3K comes by, the wall goes up, they go down. It's the last one alive. It's a battle between 3 and overtime. And I guess you know who comes out on top. It's gonna be a 4K from nerfed, and overtime we go with flickbaiters and rock bottom.
My god, nerfed is just turning this game up entirely. Absolutely being the dagger against this team. I mean, he has been able to single-handedly just shut everything down. We were talking about May early on. Yeah, 26 and 18. But yeah, nerfed. He wants to do one better. He's right behind. He's been able to just stop any sort of aggression now. And rock bottom, they lost 5 rounds in a row. So now this is kind of against the mental of this team. And we have ourselves the first round of overtime. Everything switched up again. So I'm a little bit curious what we're going to see from flickbaiters on their attacking side here, Keg.
It's going to come down to who can win the attacking round. We've seen both teams have a stellar defensive setup here, but the aggression on the attack has been a little... It's been scary at times. But Intox early drone info comes by. No capitalization off of it, though. Pushing through. Only one that was close. Already gone away. Hiding inside Nest. In fact, there's 2 on Nest. Nerf has that wall. Waiting to place it up. There it is. The slow and retaliation. Sure, Yif can't find the shots to take down the wall just yet. Molly's going to be huge, though. Only taking some damage. And look at this. Snowman control comes by from flickbaiters' side. They have full control all over B. Sure, they don't have Nest just yet, but this is huge. Now, some mid-control to come by. Hope good for one. Yet finds another. It's all candy cane inside the feed. 3v3 now. Snowman's been lost. Hope pushes up. Toasty inside kitchen. He's trying to find those shots. Saw the ankles of one Sova. Blind shot's gonna miss. Ethos good for another.
Last player standing.
Last one to be alive now for rock bottom. It's all down to Hope. We said whoever won the attacking round most likely to take map 1. It's all down to Hope. They need to have the Hope to bring it home, but Intox instead's got it. And Laz, I'm very worried for rock bottom.
Yeah, flickbaiters have now really cooked up something special for us. They have just had full control of this game. I was so worried for them, but all of a sudden, everybody woke up, everybody shook the nerves or something like that, because right now they're putting themselves at match point. And they are looking pretty good. And rock bottom just have not been able to figure anything out now. And I don't even know what the plan is. Everything's going to switch over one more time. Flickbaiters back on the defense. We have rock bottom on the attack. And this is what you said like before, is that on the defensive side, both these teams have been pretty much flawless. But now flickbaiters, the probability's on their side.
Oh, a whole lot of gymnastics coming out from Hope. Isn't enough to avoid the op shot, though. Would have been cool, though, if it was against the Vandal. But we've just started the round 4 seconds ago, and there's already 2 bodies gone for rock bottom. On the attack, no less, too. This has been the weaker side for both teams. Facing against overtime match point. Toasty. Still looking for the dodge and weave a little bit. Everyone's playing separately.
They are, and I mean, now what they're trying to do is trying to pick up some frags. I mean, they want to bring this back to an equal situation. The drone's good, but Nerf, he's got a great spot again. Look at that, Nerf. You got to nerf this player or something. He's just able to pop off again, and he's getting shock darted. He doesn't care. He's still holding the ground. Spike is down. This is an issue for rock bottom. You got the killjoy for the big flank, but it's a little bit too late. Toasty Unicorns falls a bit too quickly. Matt, he's got 5 players to go against now, Keg. This is a moment where he has to come up big for survival. This is even in to win it. This is to stay alive, and Redux is posted. Matt gets the 1, but Redux able to get the 3rd, and we got ourselves a 14-12.